Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of PatriaSpeaks. What's up, sweet people? It's your girl, PatriaSpeaks. If this is your first time tuning into this podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. I just want to say thank you. And as you know, I always show gratitude in the beginning of this episode. So I thank you so much for tuning in. I thank you for your support. I thank you for the love on social media, my Instagram, PatriaSpeaks, as well as my Facebook fan page as well, Personal with Purpose, and my group page, which is Self-Love. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're tuning in from any of those platforms, I thank you so much. And it's just a blessing to know that there's others that support you during this time. It's a blessing to have people to just tune in and just want to get some great information. Tune in, laugh with me, talk with me. I'm just so blessed. So I thank you so much. So if this is your first time tuning in, let me just break it down to what we do here. This is a self-love, self-development, self-care podcast. So we talk about things from the inside out. We talk about how we're going to maneuver our journey in our greatness, if it's working for a corporate setting or if it's on our entrepreneurship. However, we talk about us as self because it starts with self. We can't be whole for anything or anyone unless we're whole for ourselves. So we come to this platform to talk about it. So now I have a new series going on, and I like to do series as well where we talk about the nation, the culture, and the community as well. I am a woman of God, so you will hear me speak a lot of light into you. I am all for good energy, good vibrations, good positive spirits coming along and getting this information. I do thank the Most High God for giving me this voice to be able to speak to you, speak a word to you through experience, being transparent. And that's what it's all about, because experience is key. Sometimes people feel alone. Sometimes people feel like they're the only ones doing it by themselves. So I try to use myself as a vessel. I ask God all the time, use me as a vessel, use me to encourage, use me to move people in the way they need to go to fulfill their purpose here on earth. And understand this, we live here, but we're not of the world. Okay? We live here, but we're not of the world. So I want to introduce a segment. I talked about it before, but I'm coming back to y'all on IG Live speaking about it. It's a series of Red Table Talk. It's inspired by Jada Pinkett Smith. No, I am not trying to take her concept, but I'm trying to use it because we all need a place where we can come to the things that are happening in our lives. Talk about what's going on around us. Talk about this pandemic and how it's changing us from the inside out. Of the urgency of what's going on and how we had to maneuver through it, through our mental, through our physical. How is it affecting us? How is it affecting our family? How is it affecting us in this workforce? How is it affecting us as a whole? So I decided to come up with a series inspired by Jada Pinkett Smith. And if you're not aware of it, you can go on Facebook, watch, and you can pull it up. Red Table Talk. She also has Gloria. Don't quote me on this, y'all. I think it's Gloria Estefan, and she also has a table talk with her beautiful daughter and her beautiful sister, and they come to the table and they speak about things that are happening and introduce people, invite people to come to the table and speak about their experience in life. And I'm talking about all different type of things come to these tables. Will Smith just had a series and coming to the table, and he talked about one of his Aunt Vivs on the show. Her name is Janet, and please don't quote me on her last name, but she is the dark-skinned auntie, and how Will Smith and her had some disagreements. They had a battle between each other. And if you watch that episode, I'm talking about straight healing. It's unbelievable that you have this beautiful icon, Will Smith, that what he did by words could destroy someone's total career. It was really emotional, it was healing, it was all in one. It was standing up and having to be in that position of listening. And a lot of us don't understand that when we have a conversation with each other, we're trying to respond when really we need to be seeking to understand, not to respond, not to be heard. But it takes a lot when you've been brought up, you may have been brought up in a home where communication is not one of your favorite things to do. So this was really tough. I mean, anybody that had to sit in that moment and look at a person that hurt you from the perspective of sitting in Janet's spot and having to face this person who literally didn't understand what they did, what they said that destroyed a whole career. Didn't know that the things that they were saying had so much impact on her life. It was just, oh my goodness. And then Will Smith to sit there and listen, because he strives. I'm telling him out, if anybody knows Will Smith, he strives for greatness. He strives to tell a story. He strives to give you the word. He strives to be an example of what success is, of what patience is what a man is. He strives for that. He strives for positive energy, positive outcome, and to have to face this demon, because it was a demon. I know every night he woke up, he had to think about, oh my gosh, I know in my past life I've hurt someone, and I know what I've done, and I have to come to the table one day and face this fear of knowing that I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how this person's going to react, but I have to be able to listen. I have to be able to understand this person's feelings. And I want to come into that for tonight and speak about that, because a lot of us, are hurting, and we're not able to tell the person that hurt us because we don't know how they're going to take it, or we don't know how we're going to respond, or how we're going to give it to them. We don't understand that. We're in this state of fear of the unknown, the state of unknown. So I want to talk about that tonight, is that if there's anybody out there that is facing this thing that, you tried to live, we try to forget, mainly focusing on the forgetting part and saying, you know what, that person is living their life, I'm not going to lose no sleep over it, whoop-de-whoop. But at the end of the day, it's still there. You never face the fact that I have to have this conversation. I have to talk about it. So I'm going to come to y'all and let y'all know I, as an individual, have that right now. I'm dealing with my ex-best friend who I have to have this conversation, and this is me being very transparent. This is where my self-love and my self-care, my self-development starts, because I have to be able to have a conversation. I no longer can run. I have a history of family who runs from situations, and because it's not in my face, then I don't have to deal with it. And that's not true, because there's going to be a time where you're going to have to face it. Everything comes full circle. Everything comes full circle, and you have to be the person to be a bigger person. So the situation with me is like, with my ex-best friend, we were best friends when we were in middle school, hung out. We were developing during that time. High school was way different than middle school and elementary school. High school is boys, and you get a little bit more freedom because you're going from class to class to class. It's kind of like training you for college, and then college is training you for the world. But in high school, it's pretty much you finding out who you are. You got a little bit more freedom. Your parents are like, oh, okay, when you turn 16, you're going to have a curfew. You're able to work, get your workers permit and things like that. So you get a little bit more freedom. So I say all this to say is that, when we were growing up, we were in so many different situations where I had to choose all the time. And she never made it where it was fair for me. And this is me speaking my part, and I know that we will have to have this conversation, but I'm trying to be as transparent and not be so biased to the situation. And But it was a lot of hurt because I felt like every time in this relationship that we had, this friendship that we had, I had to prove who I was. And it didn't matter what I did or no matter what I did, it never was really good enough. It never really proved like I was a good friend, like I was there. You know, it was always me fighting. And in between the midst of changing, not even really changing, but understanding who I am, because it's development. You know, you don't really know who you are until you experience things. So we experience relationships, friendships with other people, and we had a bond. You know, we had this at the time made sense because we're children, we're girls or whatever. At the time it was like you can't cross, it's girl code. And we still got girl code as a grown woman. There's girl codes. But as you get older and you know you start to venture off and get new friends, some of them girl codes become personal codes with different people. So the thing about my friend at the time, she didn't allow me to have other friends. And that is not who I am. As anybody knows me as now, I'm not for the groups. You know what I'm saying? I'm not for the cults, or I'm not for the oh, you hang with me and I can't hang with nobody else. No, because my purpose is not your purpose. See, God called me to speak to the people. So if I was stayed into that circle, I would never fulfill the purpose that God has for my life. So somewhere down the line, I had to be able to venture off. And this comes with a lot. You know, when they speak about when you reach a certain level, certain people in certain places and certain things are going to fall off. You're going to be purged. Things are going to fall off of you. People are going to leave you. As much as it may hurt, people, places, and things are going to fall over. The things that you used to do, you can't do no more when you're leveling up. So from this 8-year relationship, I was leveling up. I was understanding who I was. You know, I eventually started to have a voice, because in the beginning of our friendship, I was quiet. I was shy. I was, you know, I'm the only child. I'm not the only child, but I'm the oldest child. And I had to find out a lot of things off of friends, family. I didn't have an older sister to follow after, you know, that had made that mistake already. I was the one who had to set the example. So we were in totally different positions, because she had an older sister that was able to say, hey, look, I made the mistake. Hey, look, this is the way you should go. Or walk the walk and talk the talk and be able to see it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I didn't have that. So I had to make my own, you know what I'm saying, my faults and my mistakes and things like that. So I had to be accountable for a lot of things, and I had to always be cautious of the things that I was doing, because I had brothers and a sister behind me, you know, that was looking up to me, regardless if I liked it or not. And now that the world that I live in now, you know, speaking to people, the examples that you have to carry on, you got to be very careful about what you say. You could be very transparent, but what I mean about being careful with talking is that you have to talk to be understood, and you have to respond, and you have to be able to communicate, and you have to be able to listen. So it's a lot of pressure on a certain person, and if you don't know who you are in your position, it gets very, very heavy. If you don't know in this process who you are, it's very heavy. And that's with anything in life. Even if you are becoming an entrepreneur, even if you were becoming a new mom, even if you becoming a new dad, or whatever process it is, it's not gonna be peaches and cream in the beginning. If it does, God bless you. God bless you. If it was an easy way in, the process of getting there was easy for you, God bless. But I'm pretty sure there's times when you're in the process of keeping this level up, keeping yourself afloat, keeping yourself up high, keeping yourself in good spirits, keeping yourself in good energy. It's a process. And some days going to be better than others, and other days are going to be, not as good as the day was, but you keep going, you keep moving forward. So I say this to say is that with this particular friend, I was leveling up. God was showing me that people are going to fall off. People are going to hurt you. You're going to have these conversations that you don't want to have. And now that I'm 35 years old, I would have never reached out to her. I'm going to be honest with you. I was so hurt from the time we stopped becoming friends till now. It haunts me. And I felt Janet. When she felt like I was being taunted and every time I seen this person on a TV screen, like I felt her pain when she was talking. And then I was like, for her, I felt like her, like I don't even want to have a conversation with you. And it's so crazy how God works things out, because this is the way of your self-care. This is the way you pray for self-love. You pray for yourself to develop in a way. You almost forget about the prayers that you had. You almost forget about that one little thing that's hindering you from getting to the next level, until God puts it right into your face and you're like, oh God, I got to face this again. I got to face this. So I know that I have to have a conversation with this individual. I know I have to be open-minded. I have to be open-hearted and have this conversation. But there's hurt behind that. There was backstabbing, which I've never done to this individual. But for some reason, the individual felt like I was backstabbing her. The girl code. There was no girl code. But you broke the girl code in so many ways. But I never threw it in your face, because I felt like, we all human. I thank God for wisdom. I thank God for forgiveness. I thank God for me being able to show humility sometimes, because I have a heart for people. I understand that this is a growing process. I understand that this is things that you may do is cause of learned behavior, or things that you may not even know of. So I have a forgiving heart. But this particular individual, it just felt like nothing was ever good for you, and you didn't mind backstabbing me off of what you heard. You never trusted our friendship. So that conversation has to be, in order for me to heal from anything, in order for me to be able to gain experience, because when I have my husband or another friend, it's not going to be me running away from the situation and then that person doesn't know. Okay, I don't really know how you felt, because you never explained yourself. You just prayed about it. And did you really pray for clarity? Did you really pray for peace? Or did you just pray that you never have this conversation before? So I say all this to say is that if there's an individual in your life that you never forgave, you may have forgave. No, you never forgave. And every single time, because I'm telling you, every single time this woman's name is brought up, I literally cringe. I literally feel like I want to not kill the person. No. I don't want to know about you. Literally, like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. Like, you're dead to me, literally. And I'm being transparent. Like, and that's a sad thing to say because of the times that we live in, and exactly how Will Smith may have been. I know I gotta live with this, and Janet felt. Not even Will Smith, Janet felt. This person is dead to me. Like, this person hurt me so bad, I don't even care about this person. And there was times where I wanted to get revenge. There was times where I did get revenge. And I felt she may not know of it, but if I have that conversation with her, she may, and of course she's going to feel hurt. But I felt like I wanted you to hurt like I hurt, because I've always been a true friend to you. I've always been there for you. So I felt that. I felt that pain. You know what I'm saying? It's a hurtful feeling. People don't understand what they do or what they say can really damage a person. And I hate the fact that we need to get out of that with our children, is that sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's false. That is false information. Words do hurt. Words can change a mood. And let's bring it back. Let's bring it to on a spiritual level. Let's bring it to that level. If we have power in the tongue and we can speak life or death over a situation, how can we tell our children, stick and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you? You got to look into that. Words do hurt. Words do hurt. Words can either make you grow or destroy you. Words do hurt. In order for me to admit anything, before any process goes down, before any process, I either have to speak it or write it down. And by me writing it down is me speaking it through on paper. So you have to speak it. You have to speak it. So we got to get out of that state of telling our children, especially in this time, especially with social media. Everything we do, we're speaking. Everything we're saying, we're speaking. We have to get out of that sticks and stones, they break your bones, and we have to get out of things that we thought was right. Look into what we're saying to each other. Look to what we're saying to our children. Let them know that it's okay to speak. Let them know that it's okay to have a conversation, but don't have a conversation to be heard. Don't have a conversation to hurt someone. Have a conversation to speak some light into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really got to understand and listen to what we say. You know, we really got to understand that words can do some things. It'll either make you or break you. And these words that we're having this conversation with these individuals that hurt us, we also, at the person that's hurt, in order for us to get any type of closure, in order for us to get any type of peace, we have to be open. Come on, y'all. We got to be open to have this conversation, because if you're in a state, when I get to this table, I'm going to tell her whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop. Okay, you told her. But what was that? I mean, you told her what it was, but are we seeking to get results, or are we speaking to just be heard? And when you know that you matured from a situation, you ain't got to be besties again. You ain't got to be nothing. But what it is that I want to come to an agreement and say, hey, I want to live my life knowing that I had this conversation with you, and the result of it is me getting healing. I need to heal. I need to start the process of healing. I need to face this dragon. I got to face this dragon. So in order for me to do that, I got to face the dragon. So y'all, I'm telling you, this is the time. The time is now to live free, not loose. Come on now. It's a difference between living loosely and living freely. When you're free from situations, you can wake up in the morning and have a conversation. You can wake up in the morning and not have to worry about, okay, I'm going to have that conversation. You can wake up free of negativity, drama, all of that. You can live free. Not live loosely, because loosely is me running from a situation. Yeah, I can run as far as I want. I'm running. I have the ability to do that. But once the situation is head on, are you truly free? So let's have those tough conversations. Challenge yourself to have those tough situations. And if you're not ready, pray about it. Ask God to give you the words of wisdom. Ask God to give you the strength. Ask God to help you to open up your heart. Ask God to give you the words to speak so that you can come out and speak what you need to, so that you can get the healing. Not only for you, if you hurt someone, reach out to them. Because she reached out to me. I know this conversation is going to happen one day, because she reached out to me, and it was so ironic because it was like I could not say no. I could not say no. I did every excuse in the book to say no to her. And it wasn't her coming at me like, oh, let's have a conversation. It was her inviting me to her sister's baby shower. And I'm like, I love your sister. She was such an influence. She was my best friend. She was the sister that I never had. She was the person who was there to teach me how to become a woman in these streets. Not just mommy and daddy, but she was an example for me, and I thank God for her. So the opportunity came, and I was like, how can I be so selfish? Because I'm so worried about how I feel, and this person ain't got nothing to do with her and our love and how I love her. So how can I let my anger, my selfishness get in the way of celebrating a new life? I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm still fighting with it. I'm still fighting with going, back and forth, still fighting with it. I don't know. I honestly going back and forth. I'm there for 24 hours, I'm telling y'all, and I'm still fighting with it. But I say this to say, y'all, fight those demons, get into that room, get into those difficult times, because we are living in a time where we don't know when God is going to call us home. We don't know when God is going to call us to our last day. So I say this, I encourage you, have those conversations. If it's a family member, get your healing now. Get your healing. Live in that forgiveness. Don't never forget, but live in your forgiveness. Live in that moment. It's time. It's about self-love, self-care, and self-development. I love y'all so much. Please follow me on Instagram, PatriaSpeaks Podcast. I would love for you to join me on the series Red Table Talk. We are getting into it. People are coming in. If you miss it, that's cool. It's on my page. You can catch it and view it when you want to. We talk about topics. The next topic I really want to get into is masking it, because a lot of us are living in a time of anxiety, depression, PTSD. We are living in those times where we have to we are living in a time of depression, anxiety, PTSD, and those things. So I really want you guys to tune on in. We're going to take it to the table. We're going to talk about it. This is for you. I don't want to always have to talk at the table. I want people to hear your story. And if you're still dealing with it, you need to release it. Come to the table. It's open. So hit me up on IG, PatriaSpeaks, every Wednesday. I'm not sure how long this series is going to go. We've already in our second. We missed last Wednesday. I tried to do it on Thursday, but of course, Jeezy and Gucci had to turn it up. So we missed it, but we definitely going to come back this Wednesday, which is November the 25th at 8:00 p.m. Definitely tune in to IG Live. So I thank you. If you would like to be a guest, if you have a question, concern, or a testimony, please email me at personalwithpurpose19p@gmail.com. Again, that's personalwithpurpose19p@gmail.com. Again, I love y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for tuning in. I'm on all podcast platforms. It's Patria Speaks, PatriaSpeaks_. Thank you. I love y'all. Be beautiful. Be blessed. Mwah.